So why come to the creative writing workshops? There's only one answer. It's very simple, and that's because you want to write. A lot of us want to write, and we just don't get around to it. You might be one of those. And maybe you have an idea for a blog or a book or characters for a screenplay or a novel. Maybe it's your own life material, makings of a memoir, but somehow it just never makes it to the top of the list. There's a lot of reasons for that. It's hard. Writing can be lonely. It can be difficult. The hardest thing about it really is to start, is knowing how to start. And this is true for most people. And most people can use a push. Most people need a jump start. I'm a big believer in the buddy system. There's just something very magical that happens when you put a group of people together and people feel safe to really share their stories in their own voices and give and receive respectful feedback, which is very important in our groups because we do very small groups, 6 to 8 people. It's kind of a sacred space. And then hold each other accountable. So from week to week, we share what we've been writing. We do writing exercises. People may get in touch with each other in between sessions to just cheer each other on. When we do that, we start to see that the writing is growing, the confidence is growing, and little by little, people are really becoming close to publication, at least those people who really want to be publishing. And that isn't true for everybody. Not everybody knows what they want to be writing. And this is for emerging writers, for closet writers, for professional, seasoned writers. Anybody is welcome. It's just really, are you willing to set aside the time, show up, dig deep, be honest, and give it your all. And give your all also to the other members of the group for 6 weeks. And that doesn't mean sitting and reading their stuff in between and getting 8 manuscripts and having people send you their files. That's not what we do. We simply, no pressure, might give each other a text or a call and say, how's it going? Did you get it done? Or not, because life goes on as well, and life is busy. But this is about getting that writing done that you really, really wanted to do. I'm somebody who loves to write. I love words. I love to read. I've been writing for a long time. I realized the other day that I really started writing when I was 9 years old. I used to read a magazine called Highlights, and the last page of it, there was always a piece by a reader called, My Dad is a Fireman, or My Father's Doctor. So one day I sat down and I wrote a piece called My Mother is a Newspaper Reporter, and lo and behold, I got back a very nice rejection letter saying, Dear Ellen Sue, you have a lot of writing talent, but we don't accept articles about moms. So there you have it. Sometimes there are rejections, but you have to start somewhere. I can tell you, having done this for 30 years, whether it's my own writing or whether it's working with other people on everything from conception to editing to branding to publishing, that there is no muse. There is no magic moment where the words just sort of flow out of you and it's like you disappear and God is in the room. It really happens from putting yourself in front of the screen or the notebook and facing that blank page and putting word after word after word there. One of the tricks to all of this, to me, is to find where the personal and the universal meet, because everybody has personal experiences. That's really where the material comes from. And so when we take that personal experience and we go, okay, what do I know to be true? What idea do I have that I really believe in? And then see how it resonates with other people, then there's really a click when those two things happen. I think if you think about maybe the last thing you read that really excited you, you'll probably realize that there was a moment when you thought to yourself, wow, this really makes sense. This is speaking to me. I get it. Well, there's that I get it feeling that happens with really good writing. So when you put a group of people together and they're speaking their truth and they're sharing their material and they feel safe and they feel supported, a lot of beautiful things happen. And one of the most beautiful things that happens is that work gets finished. We watch that momentum grow. We watch the confidence grow. And so now we have people who are on their second or third book. We have people who are now branding things into a series. We have people who maybe are coming back for a third time. And everybody has their own thing that they're working on. I mean, we have everything from, one woman who came to me and said, I write great Christmas letters and now is working on a book of essays on motherhood. We had somebody working on a memoir. We have Roz, whose second children's book just came out. Somebody working on a detective thriller. Novels, screenplays. I mean, it's all the whole gamut. And that's what we want. We just want people who want to write and who really are willing to put in the time to do it. Because I've got to tell you, when you're doing it, it feels so good. And that's the biggest other reason to come, is because it's really, really fun. We laugh, we sometimes cry, but we always keep writing. And we learn that there's that moment, that click when it's happening, when you're jamming, when you're really writing and you're not worrying about, is it good enough? Is somebody going to judge this? Am I going to get paid for it? That it happens. And when it's happening, there is just no greater joy. I have to tell you that I love to write and I love being an author, but there's also something very special about working with other people and being part of their journey. So I hope that you will consider joining us as well. If you're interested, click on the link. Our next session starts the last Tuesday in May. Give me a call. We'll talk about whether this is something that's right for you. It's going to be a great session, and we would love to have you.